See me now. I can't hear them.
Yo.
All right, y'all guys.
Everybody say something.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
All right.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
1, 2, 3. All right.
Hey,
All right.
Angela,
Right.
turn off one of your what's the name with your stereo.
That better?
Let me see now. Is that better? It got better
how
now.
do we share the link on our homepage?
All right, that sound went away. It was like that stereo sound.
Oh, that's me, probably. You turn it off. Oh, that's me, probably.
Okay, everybody mute just for a second. Okay. All right, so let's just go ahead and get started. And I don't even know how we can even where do we start?
Where do we start?
That's the major thing. I mean, the insurrection happened. It was major. White on white crime. It was happening. It was big. And at the very least, I'm glad that it wasn't us. I'm glad it wasn't a lot. We had a few peppers in there.
But
we already know that.
We already know that.
So I want to go ahead and get started.
I want to go ahead and get started.
I started the video that we'll be going over
and
speaking on. So let's start with the first one that I sent you guys where you're seeing the president piece of shit of the United States watching having a watch party, him and Don Jr. and everybody else. I want you're in DC. I want to thank everybody for coming on. But Shawana, you're in DC. I want to hear from you. And tell me your thoughts on that particular video.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm muted. Okay, actually, I live in Maryland, but I work in DC, so it's just like driving from LITErado to Strong. Everybody familiar with the area? So I work like that's how far like DC is where from I live. But I participated in multiple protests. I participated in the protest of George Floyd with, when he was killed. I participated in the climate protests. I participated in the Women's March, and I participated when Trayvon Martin was killed. And I also participated on, like abortion rights in the Supreme Court. I have never seen anything as thuggish and violent as this protest, because as our First Amendment right, we have a right to protest. So it was nothing wrong with them protesting, but it was the way that they did it was awful, and they need to be held accountable. And the Capitol been closed since March, since COVID. Ever since COVID, the Capitol has been closed down for people to even enter. Everything in DC is all up, like the museums and everything has been closed to COVID. So it has to be more than just an unlawful entry charge, because it's been off limits anyway since March 2020. But I personally feel that it was a inside job, because since the Capitol was closed, somebody had to let them know the layout of the land, because that is a difficult building to maneuver. I've been over there, like for special meetings and stuff, and some places are off limits, and they even have like a golf cart in the underground tunnel that that you can go in, and but somebody had to give them this is, I know it should be investigated. Somebody had to give them the layout of the land, because there's no way that that building unless you have been in the building, you frequent the building, or somebody that has given you the layout of the land. But I also saw today in this like a conversation amongst our friends to have like meetings, or someone that has went to the Capitol. They said on the day before that the riot happened, that it was a lot of people in there. And the only way that you can get in the Capitol at this time, you have to have a family member or somebody that's a congressman or somebody that's an employee of the Capitol in order for those people to get in there. So it's been stated that it was a unusual number of people at the Capitol the day before. And I just believe, in my opinion, that somebody was giving them the lay of the land to tell them where, you know, what happens where, because it's no way you can maneuver that building unless you were familiar with it. It's just no way. And just so
right. And that's
DC mayor has also, okay, so DC is not a state, and it operates through the federal government. Everything that DC does, they have to get approval for the federal government. They have a mayor. They don't have a governor. They don't have a county executive or anything. So it's the mayor. She requested, I think it was Christmas Eve, or maybe it was a little later. She requested for a National Guard to come in. They denied her. They only gave her National Guard for the interest of like, it's a lot of streets blocked off. I went down there yesterday. Streets blocked off everywhere now with the National Guard, but they're armored. They gave her permission to only have like the National Guard trucks without armor. So that they did give her, and that wasn't shown on the news, but they did give her National Guard. But she has no authority for the federal buildings in DC. Like, whatever happened, or she couldn't just say, I'm going to send the police in DC, because she has no authority. That has to be done on the federal level by President Trump or President Pence. They are the ones that have to allow the National Guards to come in. And after it happened, my understanding is Pence is the one that activated the National Guard, but Virginia sent in their troops, state trooper, because they went authorized the National Guards from Virginia at first, and they went authorized the National Guard from Maryland at first. So the governor sent in their state troopers in to help control the situation. So that's as far as why the National Guard was there, because DC mayor cannot authorize the on any federal property. She has no jurisdiction to authorize any kind of military combat or anything. So she was just limited to DC area, like across the street. That's it.
Right. So Damien, let's go to you. Give us your thoughts on that the president watching.
Well, just given his history, he has a very racist history. But I feel like the president represented white supremacy, white male dominance, showing their ass, because that's what all of this is to me. And you notice, well, me and you talked. When Black Lives Matter marched in June of last year, there was already the military there. Matter of fact, damn near every city in the United States, there was a Black Lives Matter march or protest concerning the death of George Floyd. And everywhere, the police were present. And in some of the more densely populated areas, you also had military present. Military was present in St. Louis when they were protesting was Mike Brown's death, murder, in Philly, everywhere. So I'm glad you spoke on it the way you did, Shawana, because I was kind of pissed at where's the military? Had that been us, everyone from President-elect Biden to Michelle Obama, former President Barack Obama, everyone had said, had that been us, what would happen? But it was strategic to me from the beginning. I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised. I was expecting this to happen in November, to be honest with you, because since before Donald Trump even ran for president, he has been an instigator using conspiracy theory. Y'all remember the birther campaign? We need to see Barack Obama's birth certificate. And then we even tried to call him Muslim based on his middle name. All of that continued, even though it was dispelled, he continued that rhetoric. That is classic Donald Trump. So, of course, once he was elected, I feel like America chose a white supremacist because we couldn't handle having a black president. Probably getting too far ahead of myself, but and throughout his entire candidacy, we got conspiracy theories, right? Now, when Donald Trump legally and fairly lost the election through the popular vote and through the Electoral College, no, he wasn't gonna leave the office because I just turned y'all up because there was a black man in office. And now y'all gonna turn around and elect a black woman after I defeated a woman? Yeah, let's turn up. America's getting too liberal for the right wingers, and by right wingers, I'm saying basically white supremacists, white nationalists, and coons. So to see his reaction, no, I wasn't expecting him to just come in and say, y'all don't do that, because he told them to. He told them to come to the Capitol and fight like hell for his election. So they did. You represent us. I don't care how shitty of a term you have. We have a common enemy. When we would, as patriotic as we think we are, we would tear up the nation's capital to make sure that the power stays where it belongs. So,
indeed, Matt, you ready to give us your opinion on that first video?
Hey, it's funny that he said power though, man, because that's been like the ultimate word for basically since January 1st of this year, man, is power. And it seems like that's what the ultimate gain is for basically one collective side. And it's funny though that he, called right wingers coons or whatever. I guess, people who follow that right wing ideology or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I understand that. I respect that as well. But I don't agree with both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with what happened at DC. I have no problems with it. I think it was probably one of the funniest things ever. I think we talked about it on the last podcast that I was on. Like, I don't necessarily have a problem with, like, for the same reasons why other people think about, like, when they say stuff like, if they was black, if we were, if the whole thing, if they was black or whatever, how it would have went down or anything. I personally don't think that as well either. I don't think that they're, you know what I'm saying, like they would just kill, a population of people in front of the, you know what I'm saying, like in front of the world. Y'all just kill a whole population in front of the world. You feel me? But I mean, that's just something that I thought about as well. But hold on. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. But
I can't hear.
Just you can't hear me. Okay, all right. So like just the whole ideology of this whole race thing. You feel me? Still in 2021, we're still talking about race. To me, I still feel like that's a liberal talking point at this point. You feel what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's a bigger picture. It's more to the story of what's going on at the Capitol. It's more to the story when we talk about a George Floyd protest or any of these Black Lives Matter protests. Because we see now, people don't see now that a lot of these people are serving the same agendas. And it's not, we have agendas that's on the left and we have agendas that's on the right. And we have people that are conflicting both of our agendas. That's the way I look at it right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so hold on, Matt.
I think that
what are the agendas? What are the agendas? So I want to follow you. What are the agendas?
Okay, so I think that like as far like the right, which is I think I mean y'all follow conservative, so that we believe in, like we believe more so in like our rights. You know what I'm saying? Like our first and second amendment. That's
we believe in our rights too. But we believe in our rights too. That's not a conservative right. That's a
okay. So hold on. So
Yeah,
no,
that's
so
all right.
hold on.
For
But we're not
it's not different to everybody. Okay, I'm sorry.
so but what we're saying, what I'm saying is when you look at what the talking heads is on the left, or if you want to talk about Democrats or whoever,
I just want to know.
we're talking about gun confiscation. We're talking about, you know what I'm saying, and then we're talking about censoring. That's all they've been doing, you know what I'm saying, since last year, is censoring people. So it's crazy that the people that's on the left, like you guys, you liberal guys, y'all don't understand where this whole censorship is going at this point of right now. So it's more to some capital.
Educate me. My mind is always
It's
open because
okay.
I want
So
to. Because I've been boots on the ground with the protests.
Okay.
Like for real. Like I know the difference. You cannot. It's no way in the world you can tell me that protest. It probably is a bigger picture, but that protest the other day was beyond. They need a murder charge for the death of that police, because if it was black people, if black people was involved, everybody would have a murder charge. It's definitely a difference. You might can't see the difference, but I have been to so many protests, and on my job, I work for DC government. It is you saying everybody else saying, I'm telling you what I see with my own eyes. I don't have to go by what MSNBC say. I don't have to go where Fox say. I know.
So check it out. Okay, all right. So we can move.
Hold on. I know we.
No, don't worry about it.
Can I please say this?
Okay, we ready.
Go ahead.
Every time we march with BLM, in all of the years that it's existed, what has been said? Hashtag all lives matter, right?
Yes, all lives matter.
Blue lives matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is how this insurrection proved that was bullshit that we already knew.
Yeah,
because you killed a cop while storming. So blue lives didn't matter on that damn day.
It didn't matter.
So who killed the police officer?
It don't matter. Everybody should get a murder charge. I don't know. I can't identify the person, but if it was black people that was in there, they only have trespass and unlawful entry. That's just like my neighbor coming in my house, like, you know, after that's just a charge. That's just a charge that can be downgraded, that it won't go on their record. Their records need to be effed up. Just like black people records be when they have disorderly conduct and everything. Yes,
ran up.
That was awful. And I have a very, like, I have a lot of friends that work like all throughout that's high, like in some high power positions. But I have a very good friend that's the employee of the Pennsylvania senator that I wish I could have her on here. It was like we on the phone, like she was like, Shawana, let me tell you this because how involved I am. Everybody, I mean, it is deeper than you know about the liberal or whatever, but those people, the congressman, Trump didn't give a damn about no Republican or Democrat then. They went in there to F everybody up. If they would have went in there,
so let me cut in then.
Republican or Democrat. The people that, let me just say this, and I promise, the people that broke in the Capitol, they don't know what Tim Boozman looked like. So if they would have just knocked Tim Boozman ass in the head, they wouldn't know what he looked like. They just going in there to do damage. They don't know those senators. They don't know the representatives. They don't know what they look like. They don't know the people that they only know probably Nancy Pelosi, Texas senator. They don't know nobody. So if somebody would have got hurt, they're not even smart enough to know. They can't identify who was Republican or Democrat because they all mixed together. So it ain't like the Democrats sitting on their side and the Republicans sitting on their side. So if they would have went in there and just started blasting people, I guess the question is gonna be like, who are you with, the Republican, Democrat? They don't know. They're not smart enough to identify each one of those representatives and each one of those senators. They not. They all asses were scared. All of them, Republicans and Democrats. They asses all were scared because they all went in hiding. So if they was on their team, why they didn't bring their asses out and be like, oh, okay then, I'm with you, partner. Don't kill me. I'm Republican.
But I mean, they're not smart anyway, Shawana, but don't believe this lying ass president. They have no intelligence. They're not using it.
What you say, the left and the right and left. all of their asses was scared up there in the other night. So it don't matter. You talking about we have different agendas. That day, the agenda, whoever was gonna be in the way was gonna get that ass.
You gonna let me say something?
The policeman who got killed, he was
okay. Everybody. Let's go on to the next thing. Let's go on to the next thing. Wow. let's go to that picture that I sent you guys. Let's talk about each of those things that happened. The Biden-Harris bus being ran off in Texas. The Michigan attempted kidnapping of the governor.
False news.
The irony for me, for me. You have false news who have created narratives that the opposition is fraudulent, yet y'all out here tampering with rallies and campaigns. You're tampering with that even before the first ballot was cast. The people who were caught in Philadelphia for attempted election and ballot fraud were Trump supporters. Everything you have accused the left of, which is a Republican trait, by the way. The Republican trait, Republicans will throw a stone and say the Democrats did it. I pull out my box of receipts because I got them.
Indeed.
I'm very conservative. We're very conservative, and Obama put me in this position.
Do you mean by conservative? Are you talking about tax base? Or are you talking about your beliefs? Is like no abortion and families staying together.
Definitely. That's definitely two of them. That's a good one. Yep.
Okay, families staying together. So it was okay. So your president separated all of those people, the immigrants. So that was fine. So y'all so liberal. That's okay for kids being torn away from their parents. So I mean, like that's the Christian way. That's the Christian way. I mean, he's your president.
But we're not going to deny any of that stuff that Obama did, though. Back in
Obama
he was running. I don't even want to talk about Obama at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about Trump. But if you want to talk about immigration camps, that's Obama. That's Obama blueprint. You feel what I'm saying?
This is what?
Okay, Matt, I'm asking you nicely to calm down for a moment. And I'm going to redirect. I'm going to redirect. Okay. Now, let's go back. Let's go back to where you said false news. What are you talking about? False news. What was fake news?
Basically, we got the footage. Somebody basically tried to cut one of those people off. They was escorting that bus out of there. People got to understand, if y'all like people live in Texas, I've been in Texas. And ain't none of that funny stuff going on in Texas you get what I'm like. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Y'all keep following. See, the thing is, the people follow the news so much, and these news, they put these clips and they do all this type of funny stuff. That's why I sit back and I watch the left and I watch this CNN and MSNBC, Fox News. I laugh because if you just go do your own research and stop looking at these 15-second clips, you'll go find a whole minute, and it showed where a person tried to cut another person off that was in front of the car, behind the bus. So you take that little recording, and then you go put it on CNN, and then here go people like them, they go eat it up and say, all people in Texas or Trump supporters, they went and did this. Bro, people are patriots out here.
You're talking
about Texas, which is a big state. You can't speak for all of Texas.
I'm not speaking for everybody.
Everybody ain't the same in Texas. Everybody ain't finna sit there and do all that.
What I'm saying is, you go take stuff off of the news. Stop taking stuff. Go do your own research.
I got my own research.
Okay, hold on, Matt.
Okay, let me tell you my own research.
We get it. Stop watching the news.
Okay, yeah. So, I'm going to give you my own research. Okay, Buc-ee's, you know the big gas station that has this fire brisket in Texas. I've been in San Antonio every month. Every month I go for a week. I didn't go to Christmas because of, you know, it was too much air travel. Buc-ee's, I stop every time I fly to Austin. I fly from DC to Austin faithfully, like the first Saturday of every month. That's where my dad and sister live. That the stuff happened in Texas at Buc-ee's. That's their meeting spot from the angle where I go. They have Trump flags in their trucks and everything. They'll block you in and be the same day. The last time that I went to Texas is when they announced that Joe Biden won. So Texas was chaos. They had the little meeting place. You know the gas station. I know you know what I'm talking about. And Buc-ee's right outside Austin. It's like right outside of Austin. I think it's 23 miles to Austin and like 33 miles to San Antonio. That shit happened. It happened. I know I don't need to be cussing, but it's the Trump supporters. I don't know how it is in the whole state, but they was there. They was there, and it was right down the street, right before they got the Buc-ee's where they pulled the bus over. Because my sister was like, "Hey, Shawana, you know what we talked about? This is where they stopped the bus. If they did have the police escort, and the police had to stop too, but the Texas got four lanes of traffic." So it happened. I mean, whether we want to believe it or not, if it's fake news, it happened. I don't know what the intentions was.
I mean, yeah, it did happen. Somebody cut it on the line.
Didn't nobody get hurt, but it happened.
On live. Philando Castile was not killed on live because it's fake news. We don't want to believe it. So if we don't want to believe it, it's fake news. But the laughable thing to me is the people that
who is Philando Castile?
Reporter is doing. So, am I going to use my own intelligence to decipher what's coming from someone's mouth on a live stream, or what the actions I'm seeing that they hired actors to do this? Who got time? Come on.
Sorry. Okay. Let's go to the. It was something that was mentioned, Damien, you mentioned about when after Obama was president and we experienced white lash. I wrote that word down. When Trump was elected, we experienced white lash. And now we're witnessing all this white on white crime that we don't hear nothing about. We're not hearing anything about. And Matt, let me insert this. Someone noted that they believe you're confusing nationalism with patriotism, and I believe that's what's happening.
They would have to elaborate. They would have to elaborate what patriotism is, or versus nationalism. Then, like you will have to, because I'm not talking about nationalism.
Hold that thought.
I'm not talking about nationalism.
Yeah, hold that thought.
Wrong Google, bless you.
But also too, they did protest Obama when he was president. I was out here like for both inaugurations, so they did protest. It wasn't to the magnitude of everything that's going on now, but the last time they protested, but it wasn't to this magnitude. And
what? They investigated Trump. They put the FBI on Trump. So it don't matter if they protest or anything.
I'm not saying it for but I'm saying protest is our legal right. And as far as like Trump, everybody have every legal right it is to protest what they believe in. Like you so hardly believe in what you believe in. I so hardly believe in what I believe in. So I'm saying everybody have their.
So y'all shouldn't have no problem with them. So y'all shouldn't have no problem with what them white people did at the Capitol.
I have to hold on. So
what happened to patriotism?
The difference between legal protest and what they did was illegal. If it was black people, it would be illegal.
But that's Orlando. That's Orlando. We can, but if we don't, if
America, you stormed it because you was mad.
But if they're not storming it, but they're not mad out here because of the same reason y'all are mad. You feel me?
I'm not mad.
You get what I'm saying? So y'all get mad about criminals get shot down in the street, criminal interactions with the police and stuff like that. They mad.
Everybody that gets shot down in the street are not criminals. Everybody. Fidel Castro was not a criminal. He was.
I mean, y'all can name all these different names. Y'all can name all these different names, and we can go on all of them. We can go do studies on all.
Me talking about naming somebody. If you can't name them, don't say that criminals getting shot down in the street, because everybody black that was getting shot down in the street was not criminals. They were not. So we don't want to go there.
The black woman who was shot on the Capitol grounds in 2013, was she a criminal?
No, she wasn't. She made a wrong turn, and it's easy to do right there. If you're not from here, well, I'm not from here, but it's easily to get turned around right there to go through the barrier. She got shot, probably was confused. She had a little boy now, so it's easy. But I mean, seriously, we can't say criminals getting shot down, the black people, because they're killing innocent black men for nothing.
Exactly. So that's unequivocal. That can't even be argued, Matt. You can say that all day long, bro.
I mean,
you cannot argue. If you go to the Capitol and try any part of that, you will die.
Right. And you know what? The mindset that y'all have, so weak that we can't be united enough, just like these white people. Just like we can't be united. We can't be united about something that we will go do something like this.
Why would I unite with somebody?
What are we really out here protesting about?
So you
we have the protesters.
Absolutely right.
We have the protesters that have changed for us.
Hold on.
What are they protesting?
Say that again, man.
What is the protest in the past year changed for us?
A lot.
What changed? What?
Want me to tell you? I can tell you what changed here.
7,000 black people died.
I can tell you what changed here. Money got rerouted from the police here. They hired job positions on the system right now.
Let her reply, man. Let her reply, man.
What did they change? What did they change for those 7,000?
What changed?
Go ahead, Shawana.
I can tell you what changed here from the protest. The police have got defunded. Their money got moved. I don't know what he's saying. Okay, and so police funding has been, they are putting in, instead of putting police in to de-escalate situations, they are putting in mental health workers, they're putting in social workers that can go out with the police to help them de-escalate situations, so they'll stop killing our black men, taking our men from families. Dude, you don't want to go here with me. I'm telling you. So you saying that nothing is changing. It is changing. It is changing. It's changing.
Didn't George Floyd's killers get arrested?
They did.
Why? Because there was a protest.
Yes.
Didn't the lady who killed Botham John? Did she not get arrested?
In prison.
Why? Because he protested.
Yes.
Little Rock has its first black mayor because we've been making noise. There are more elected black mayors in Arkansas than before the BLM movement started.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on, everybody.
Matt, to any of those black neighborhoods, what do they look like?
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read some of the comments that we have.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna read some of the comments that we have right now. Okay, now we have a comment that says, white people are mad because they are losing power, point blank. Their fear of losing their so-called supremacy is the only reason the Capitol was stormed. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Period.
They coming out of here.
Matt, agree or disagree?
All right, can I say something for once, please? All right.
No, listen to me. This is order. No, sir. Listen to me, Matt.
Okay.
Matt, I'm reading the comments, and here's it's a yes or no. I'm gonna reread it for you because you wasn't listening. Okay.
All right.
The lady said white people are mad because they are losing power, point blank. That fear of losing their so-called supremacy is the only reason the Capitol was stormed. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. Who are they losing the power to? Okay,
now let me ask you this question. It's another comment from somebody else. Let's see. Who are we taking America from, and to whom are we trying to deliver it to?
That's for Matt.
Matt,
that's
I'm
to
listening.
me too.
Matt, go ahead and handle that one, bro.
Yeah.
I think you know what? Personally, there was a time, just a couple years ago, where everybody was getting along. You feel me? And so now I think that later on in life, you feel me? People will understand. Hold on. Let me just say it. People will understand where this is going. Okay. So personal of me, this is myself and other brothers. Okay. This is why we went a different route other than what the left has been teaching us for years. So what we're saying is we lost. It is what it is. Now that the left, they have their agenda now. So it's things that they want to put in line, and we're going that's where the world is going. It was with the left. The right took it. Trump took it. Not the right. Trump took it. This was Trump economy. This was Trump's America. You feel what I'm saying? So it wasn't the establishment. It wasn't none of that. So now we're going back under control. That's how I feel. We was controlled for years. We had Bush. He was controlling it. He was a sucker as well. We had Obama, another sucker. So now we got somebody that went against the establishment. Now we're getting somebody that's going to put us right back to sleep.
Okay.
And
That
just
was
like,
the dumbest voice
Can I say
I've ever heard
something?
in my damn life. You just
Can I say something? Okay, Damien. Okay, let me comment to him. You're right. We are going back. We are going back. So under Trump, under Trump control, you said we went back a couple of years. We did, because I'm gonna just tell you, we lost federal funding that help our after school programs, that help single parents that need low income daycare. Our recreation centers are closed or not funded equally, or they have Trump has rerouted the money for everything that help us most of us African American and people of color. You are absolutely right. That's what I do here. Yes, the Boys and Girls Club, they have taken money from everything, a lot of things that help our kids so they can overcome and go to college and get an education. They have taken money from the education system to try to, Betsy DeVoe and try to reroute the money so she can privatize schools instead of putting the schools in the low income communities and the rural areas that need schooling and education, the more help, so they can pay the educators and teachers to help. They have messed up the education system where the funding is, like the colleges. They have taken money from colleges, especially the HBCUs are suffering because of President Trump rerouting money and stuff and saying, oh, they don't deserve this, cutting the budgets and stuff, where that affects us in our communities, in low income, impoverished communities. They taking money because you want me to show you some stuff? Because I can email you some stuff, some grants and stuff, the financial assistance, where Trump has really hurt our people in the things that we need in order to survive, in the housing, in the education, in the recreation that help our young kids and our young men. He has taken money from social justice programs where we need it. We need the money and stuff to help us, because we ain't like the left already got money that come from backgrounds that has been just giving wealth like through generation and generation. So really, so you talking about the last couple of years, you are absolutely right. That dude have jacked up some stuff for the last couple of years of rerouting money and taking money from the low income people that need it, giving it to his rich friends. I agree with you. The last couple of years have been horrific for him.
Come with these receipts. I got some more receipts. We also have some of our strongest alliances have become weakened. We have more global enemies under this in 4 years than any other administration. This is the only president to have been impeached twice. This is the only president who has had an insurrection on the Capitol since 1812. But everybody else is a sucker. That was funny. I'm a sucker.
Obama a sucker. Trump
all these receipts here. But the left is talking points. No, we speaking some facts.
Yeah.
Because we watch the news.
After school tutoring.
Intelligence to it.
Out.
Okay. So let me go back to the comments in over here into the comment section. Matt, you have a question. Will you run for office and unsucker us?
Would I do what? If
run for office and unsucker us?
Yeah, I would. Hell yeah, I would.
You wouldn't get no votes.
But at the same, listen, hold on.
You wouldn't get no votes.
The thing is, right? Look. But you got people, and that's cool. You know what? And you're right. I don't need African American votes. I need Black people votes that think for themselves. I don't need African American votes. I need Black people who think for themselves. That's what I'm cool. And the thing is, right? The thing is, right? Black people only make 13% of the population. By the time I run, they'll probably make 12% or 11% of the population. And you know what? I'll go out to other communities that care about their communities. Black people know about these communities. So hold on,
man. Hold on. Let's hold on a second.
I'm a voter. I want to know what you're gonna do for me.
Give me a minute, Damien.
I'm sorry.
Give me a minute.
You can't say Black people don't care about their community.
Because he struck a chord with me on that one too. Because we're not even talking.
They care about. Don't say people don't care about their communities. You need to take that back.
Right. You cannot say that.
You cannot.
You cannot say that.
You cannot say
people
that. But you need to Black vote
are literally fighting for their communities right now. I don't know what you're doing in Pittsburgh, but people are fighting for their community and trying to better their communities.
I just want to say something without getting cut off, right? The problems that y'all are talking about that are going on in our communities are not the biggest problem. Last year, like I said, a lot of prominent people in our communities are dying. If we got babies dying. Come on now, are y'all talking about that? I care less about a lot of this stuff. So we care about the communities. We save the people in the communities first. Why if we care about the communities, why haven't our communities grown over into other communities like these communities are growing over into ours? So if that's the type of stuff that we care about, so I'm not saying that we just don't care about each other or whatever. But if we want after school programs, are we going to send our kids to the school after school programs? Are you going to invest? Hold on, please, hold on, please. Are we going to put money up as a communities, and we're going to put money? We're going to invest into stuff that's going to help our communities, like the stuff that y'all are talking about.
Can I ask you a few questions?
No, hold on. What's up?
Have you ever heard of the Head Start program?
The what?
The Head Start program.
Yeah, I heard of the Head Start program.
You know where that came from? The Black community.
Okay.
The Black community started that in the 70s. It was started by the Black Panther Party. Have you heard of the school breakfast program?
But how about this, right? You say all that, right?
Have you heard of the school breakfast program?
I heard of that as well. Okay,
it was started by the
Black people did that as well, right? Okay, so check it out, right? Check it out, brother. So check it out, brother.
Mr. Matt, what I'm saying, it would behoove you, it would help you, it would enrich your talking points to learn some Black history. Aside from what is being taught in
that don't matter. History has nothing to do with 2021.
Learn while
how can you say
history is in the past?
Black history doesn't matter.
That it is in due to redlining. Do you know why they call a certain?
What is history going? Listen. What is history going to do?
Do you know
what is history going to do with the problems that's going on in our communities right now? We can talk about Black History Month.
Okay, so let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this, man. What are you doing in your community?
That's a good question. I'm gonna listen to that.
Hold on, brother. Okay, look at me. Hold on, brother. Stop it.
I'm waiting on you to tell me what you're doing in your community.
All right. Me personally, look at me personally, okay? You see me, right? I show brothers, I show younger brothers, we show kids, we show them how to be men. You feel what I'm saying? That's all that we talk about. We show them that you don't have to do simple stuff. Read a book. You ain't got to play them all the goddamn time. If no, hold on, bro. Go to the library. This is stuff, and we invest in kids' minds. You know what I'm saying? We don't have look. We're not out here asking people for money. We're not out here running no programs. We're out here in people that look like us. We're putting them in ways that when they don't know how to interact with white people and other type of, they don't know stuff about any cultures and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Y'all just doing it out of the kindness of y'all heart. Y'all don't get any funding for it. You said y'all just you're not an organization. It's just like a group of guys.
It's hey, we've been doing this. We've been doing this for years. Mentoring children. Yes, mentoring children. Listen.
Where do you find your kids at? Where do you get your kids from? Where do your kids? That you mentor, where they come? Where do you get your kids that you mentor from? Where do you find those
mothers? Single black mothers.
Single mothers that.
Are you a single black mother? Or are you looking for a ring, a band to go?
No, that's not what we do.
Okay, so you said they come from single black mothers, right? And you're mentoring them, right? After school, y'all get together and y'all have them at a group.
Weekends, collective times. It ain't just like we give them a couple hours. It's collective times.
So you saying on weekends you get them?
It don't matter about times. It ain't no on weekends. It's any day. Any day you set it up.
Okay.
It could be morning.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Matt, not Matt. I apologize. We've been joined by someone else. We have someone else in the room, Jacorlis Hill. Am I saying your name right? Jacorlis, are you there?
You're close. You're close to it.
Okay. Jacorlis. Go ahead. I didn't realize that you were on. So if you will, give us your thoughts. Share your thoughts on what happened in DC.
So
what's happening?
There are a lot of ways that you can look at this. You can look at this from a racial aspect or a political aspect. And one of the things that really is interesting is you have allegedly, let me cover myself for legal grounds, allegedly, representatives that were given tours the day before, even though the Capitol was supposed to be closed to the public. You had representatives that was given tours the day before. You had one representative who was live tweeting people's locations during the attack. And you have all of these state Congress people and first responders that ended up being in the crowd of these assailants. Now, far be it from me to say what all of Black America has known for 3 centuries. But they walked up there with nothing to clothe them in anonymity but their whiteness. Nothing but their whiteness as protection, and they realized why their forefathers wore hoods. One of the people that was there was an Olympic gold medalist, and he wore his Team USA shirt. The audacity that takes to do something illegal, wear something that only you would possess, and still think, oh, well, nobody's going to do anything about it because I'm me, because I look like I do. That's the collective issue here. It's not that, oh, well, these people were upset about this and that, because let me tell you something. If Black people got angry and stormed the Capitol every time we were wronged or our vote was suppressed or we were disappointed in the results of an election, we would be marching up to Washington every 2 years. That's not what this is about. What happened this year was something that had never happened before in the history of this country since 1879. And that was that we had the closest thing to a free and fair election that we have ever had. And the reason I say that, all the voter suppression tactics, all these other things that were put in place to keep black people from voting were nullified by the actions put in to dim the effects of the pandemic. And when that happened, and when black people voted in record numbers, as they have not done since the beginning of Reconstruction in the 1870s, the people that don't agree with the way black people vote got so upset they couldn't handle it. And they decided, oh, well, if they want to do like their ancestors did in the 1870s, let's do like our ancestors did in the 1870s when they went to Georgia and took those 33 black elected representatives and forced them out of office. Or let's do like they did in New Orleans and let's take out the democratically elected government and put our own puppet government in there. Let's do what our ancestors did since they did what their ancestors did. I'm not saying that was their mentality, but that was their actions. And I'm not saying that they are inherently racist, but the effect of your actions proves racism, not the intent of your actions.
Okay. So we're nearing the hour. We're nearing the hour time that I said we would be. I know we could go on and on this whole topic. But we're going to do some final thoughts. President Trump, piece of shit Trump, told the protesters to go home and they were very special. He's getting ready to do a peaceful transfer of power. So I want to hear your final thoughts, and I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to speak their on what I just said. Matt, we're going to start with you, and then Shawana, then Damien, then Boomer.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is, man, I hope that y'all right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, everybody knew I was for Trump. I wasn't scared to go against anybody on the left. I wasn't scared to go against anybody's idea of their politics, how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Whatever agenda that you wanted to go with that was against the right, I was all for it. You know what I'm saying? And even still to this day, I'm still riding with Trump at the end of the day. So I hope that at the end of the day, right, how Trump did so much for black people, whether y'all want to deny it or y'all want to acknowledge it or not, it don't matter. It don't matter who's looking at it. It's facts. Y'all go get receipts for a lot of things. We'll go look that up. You know what I'm saying? So first 100 days, what he said he was going to do, he did it. And what he didn't do, he damn near did at the end. You feel me? And he did everything. So if we could talk about HBCUs and all that other stuff that y'all got receipts and all that stuff for, we know all that stuff is y'all favorite word, debunk. We know what Trump did for black men. You feel what I'm saying? And we've never had a president, even Obama didn't do what he did for black men. So at the end of the day, I hope that Biden and Kamala Harris, they already going out the Hispanic crowd. They're not even worried about black people. So I hope y'all jump aboard, and I hope y'all really get what y'all want for y'all most turned out votes in history and everything else, because y'all know who I rock with. So at the end of the day, Biden, he's still my president. You feel me? I'm still gonna clown him, just like I would clown Trump if he did something wrong. I didn't agree with everything Trump did, but at the end of the day, he played himself. He got himself in every situation that he did, and the left just won. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, they rocking y'all to sleep. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
All right, Matt. Thank you again for joining us again. Go ahead, Shawana.
Okay, it's my turn. I'm going to read this email that I received from the mayor of DC government. This was on December 24th. Okay, this is a heads up for this week. Well, for the upcoming week, Monday, January 4th through Thursday, January 7th. 5 organizations have announced that they plan to arrive in the district this week for a protest of the outcome of the November 2020 presidential election. They may arrive on Monday and are expected to focus their activities on Wednesday, January the 6th. Among those organizations is at least 2 with violent reputations. Confrontational behavior as was experienced in downtown DC during events in November and December. The Proud Boys. I understand I understand they plan an armed equipment on the national mall. The mayor has issued a reminder that firearms are prohibited on federal sites such as the Capitol and the mall, and that concealed arms, for the most part, prohibited in the District of Columbia. The mayor has asked district and federal agencies. She is warning people to stay away from downtown DC and not engage with the demonstrators. So whatever they had going on, they sent this email Christmas Eve to us to tell us to stay our behinds from down there. And for as Trump saying, Angela, like you said, he's telling everybody no violence. That's because he done lost everything. He done lost his hookup for the banks, his bank loans. Mm-hmm. He done lost the hookup for his properties. He done lost everything. So he's trying to save face enough so he can still have some type of income because he's supposed to be so ultimately rich or whatever. But he's trying to save face and trying to save whatever little pride or something that he do have. He's just saving face for a financial gain. I don't think he mean anything that he's saying, because the things that they did, everybody have a right to protest. That's right. It's our First Amendment, but they did too much. And I still feel they need to have murder charge for the death of their police, because if it was Black people, they would charge us as murder. Like they said, if y'all all together, if somebody driving a car and they get stopped for drunk driving, yep, and or whatever, or if somebody committed a crime and I'm with them, I would get the same charge. So therefore, I feel, and I'm an advocate for re-entry. I'm an advocate. I have worked with Ban the Box and everything. You know, I'm not an advocate of people being locked up or, you know, incarcerated, but they need to be locked up and incarcerated and charged murder, first degree murder charges for that. That's how I feel about that, because they could have protested peacefully. We protested peacefully at Black Lives Matter during the George Floyd death. They even had kid activities down there because I took my grandbaby. It wasn't near as nothing. If I felt safe enough to take her down there, you know, it wasn't a bad protest because everything was organized and nobody even had the intent to storm the Capitol like they did. We got an email on December 24th telling us that was going to happen, that it was violent people. They already was planning it. So it was wrong. No matter what nobody else say, it was wrong, and they need to be punished. And Trump is only trying to save face, to save the little money that he can still get from his whatever he got going on with his businesses and properties. That's it. He don't mean any of it. That's my opinion about it.
Okay, go ahead, Damien.
You muted.
Holding this piece of paper up every time you and Jacarla spoke. The receipts. It was the receipts for me. So let me start with my own receipts. As I said at the beginning of the show, anybody who can connect dots knew that this 45th person in office was already a conspiracy theorist. He was already racist. Mm-hmm. He represented from the year 2008 up into 2016. He represented a voice for white people outraged. He's become the face of the white lash we talked about earlier, because there was white lash. When Obama got elected, it would be people walking up to me congratulating me, and I'm like, I didn't run for office. Did you vote for him? You damn right I did. I didn't run for office. Anywho, moving past that, just from what he's done throughout the Obama years and throughout his own presidency, first of all, the slogan itself is triggering for Black people, especially those who have faced the impact of racism directly, who are descendants of family members who have experienced racism, who may have been injured or killed due to racism. That was a triggering moment, because before they was killing us on live streams and on the news, they were killing us. We were dying in trees, being burned alive, being raped, beaten, mutilated. You just took us back to that when you said make America great again, because for a Black person, historically, it's a lot better than it was, but the term great is a bit strong for me. Some of the things that he has said throughout his presidency, especially during the Charlottesville riots, where he called the people who, at the Klan rally, he called them very fine people. you have not openly condemned these supremacist and racist groups. And to touch on Shawana's point, there was also, I think, an FBI report that they were that these groups that you mentioned in the email you received, they're planning on, correct me if I'm wrong, they're planning on rioting in all 50 capitals, in all 50 states of this country. Matter of fact, I just read a report that an FBI arrested Arkansas man. He's facing charges for beating a DC officer with an American flag. Like I said earlier, blue lives damn sure do matter, don't they? I will say this. I believe it was D.L. Hughley said this the day after Trump was elected. He had said that it was whitelash. He didn't use that word that was Van Jones's, but he was on The View and he said what we saw was the result of a reaction to a bullet going directly to the head of white supremacy. The insurrection, the way these parties are voting, this isn't just for the Oval. This is America versus white supremacy. It will get ugly. All I can say is I wouldn't tell anybody to vote directly. For one, this left and right that's chess anyway. I wouldn't tell anybody to vote blue or red. Vote however the hell you want, but vote with the interests of your grandkids in mind. Say whatever you want, but speak with the interests of your grandkids in mind. This drove that home to me because of my parents and my grandparents and so on and so forth. I, an 80s baby, a millennial, was able to go to an integrated school, was given opportunities that they didn't have. So you best believe I want your kids and your grandkids to have even better than what we have now. I'm considering that. We're even at the impeachment process. We don't want to rush into it, but RBG wasn't called on her cooling board before we got another justice for life. Yeah. The news didn't have to tell me that was filed. But I'm going to wrap this up and say it's bigger than the White House. It's bigger than a 4-year term. And because I'm petty, I'm also going to do this before I go. Tomorrow is January 15th. And if you are, have any knowledge about Black collegiate life, that it's the Founders Day of the first Black sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha, who Kamala, that's how you say her name, Kamala. It's like Pamela, but with the K. Kamala Harris was a member of that. She pledged at Howard University in the 80s. I want to say 86. She's celebrating her Founders Day tomorrow. And then later on, she's going to become the first the first female and woman of color elected as vice president. Shirley Chisholm would have loved to have seen that. If that could have happened during her lifetime, if it could have happened for her. Harriet Tubman led us on the Underground Railroad for this moment. I don't care about a talking point. I know people died. People endured slavery. People endured Jim Crow. They endured sharecropping. They endured a lot for us to have this moment. Only 4 years after we just celebrated our first Black man being president. And with that, I'm out. We're going to have some more in those offices.
All right. Jacorlis?
I don't know if y'all are familiar with Arkansas law. It's something that I do enjoy studying every now and then. But we have a charge under Arkansas law. And it's not really something that's serious, but it's tacked on to mostly Black offenders to lengthen their sentence. It's called engaging in a continuing crime gang or entering and continuing crime gang. And if we can make that charge, and there are gang affiliation charges all across the United States that were invented during the time of Al Capone and weaponized during the Ronald Reagan-fed crack epidemic of the 80s to imprison Black folks. If we can enforce those laws, then we need to enforce them because these people were essentially involving themselves in a gang that committed a crime. But moving past that, let us not pretend that this was something that happened. Oh, this all happened Wednesday. This escalated slowly over 4 years, steadily over 4 years. From when Donald Trump was mocking disabled reporters and calling on his people to assault protesters in the audience, telling them that, oh, if you punch them right in the face, then I'll pay your legal fees. This was something we can't pretend that he didn't do because it's on video. Video don't lie. And we sit up there and we look at what happened during the time period on how every time he visited a city, hate crime spiked in the county surrounding the places he visited every single time. Since the time he was elected, hate crimes are up in this nation 226%. We have to understand that this is something that escalated slowly, and at the point we are now, America can't heal itself because it's too busy cutting itself more. We stand on the precipice of a great opportunity for change in this country. But this is something that we can't move past without acknowledging. We have to know that, oh, Trumpism was a thing, and it is now not going to be in the past for years, because those people that voted for Trump are just going to find the next Trump. That's all they're going to look for. And if Trump can't anoint one of his children to be the next version of himself, he'll find a Republican that's willing and able. We have the Senate right now with the opportunity to block him from running for federal office again. And that's an opportunity I feel like they should take. Maybe Mitch McConnell, during that raid in the White House, somebody unlocked the room where Donald Trump had hidden all the Republican spines, and he went in there and grabbed his. I don't know. Far be it from me to say that. But at this point in this country, we have to realize that the opportunity that we have, it's like we're going through a second Reconstruction. We have a president who can possibly put in place or approve on the improvements for Black folks that Donald Trump undid under his presidency. And we have an opportunity to right the wrongs of police violence in this country. But we still have folks that want to sit up here and say, after what happened on the Capitol, I'm not even going to use Black people as an example. Look at our Native American brothers and sisters during the protests for the Keystone Access Pipeline. In freezing weather, they had water guns turned on them, rubber bullets shot on them when it was 20 and in the negative degrees outside. But we see what happened at the Capitol when we have officers taking selfies. When we have officers that were allegedly leading them. I'm not talking about the Black officer who heroically led them away, who, if Congress does decide, they need to give him the Congressional Medal of Freedom because he has earned it. But we have officers that were leading them, allegedly now, let me cover myself for legal reasons, to these people's offices. We have a deep-seated cancer in America. And right now we are going through chemotherapy. And yes, it's hard. Yes, we want to vomit. Yes, we're sick. Yes, we're tired. Yes, we are exhausted. But at the end of this treatment, there is healing on the other side, and we just have to hold on till we get to the other side.
Thank you, Jacolis. And I want to first thank all of you for coming on, agreeing to come on. I want everyone to stay safe, especially you, Shawana. I know you're in the heart of it. Damien, you in the rock by the Capitol. So, but all of us, we need to stay safe and stay vigilant, regardless of who you vote for. your skin color doesn't change, and they are out for they have their own agenda. And I'm gonna say this, and this is what Brittany Cunningham said. She said a lot in the statement, but I just wanted the very end of it. All of this has been incited by generations of administrations, centuries of culture, and lifetimes of systemic supremacy. Period. At the end of the day, we have to stay safe. We're gonna have to hold these politicians accountable for what they're doing or what they're supposed to do, what they said they were gonna do, and we can only hope for the best at this point. I don't know anything good that Trump did. You can send me something or whatever, but I know the pain that Black people continue to go through, including you. And I want everybody to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Let me make the announcement of for our listeners that are viewing for MLK parade on Saturday in Camden, starting at 2:00. That will end at Carnes Park. Please come out, show your support. Stay tuned next week. We'll come out we'll have another episode. I can't say exactly which one it's going to be, but it's sure to be enlightening.
Don't forget the MLK program on Monday.
Damien, Matt, Jacolis, again, thank you guys. I appreciate you. We can continue this another time if we want to, whatever. But I gave us an hour and 10 minutes. But I do appreciate you guys, and I love you. Stay safe. That's the main thing. Stay safe. Hold on, Shawan. I can't hear you. Hold on.
I said, wear your mask, stay safe, 6 feet, wash your hands. So wear your mask. Wear your mask, please.
Yes.
We are still in the pandemic. Alive. You are right.
Yes, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Even for the Trump supporter, we're still in the middle of a pandemic.
All right.
All right.
Black in America, my people, stay safe. We out.